Good morning. My name is Ari, founder of Women's Startup Lab. Today, we have Janice Fraser with us. She's an incredibly accomplished woman, and we just want to have a little bit of her time to learn her Hito moment and some of the lessons that we can extract from her. So, can you tell us what you have done in your past and share your passion?
Well, thank you so much for having me. First, I love talking about my Hito moments. I have started 6 companies, and I've been an entrepreneur for 16 years.
Wow.
So I would say that my passion is for starting companies and leading people, because I think that when you start a company, you have to be in it in part to lead the people that work for you.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I get a lot of satisfaction, and a lot of my passion is about interacting with my customers and now my advisees, but also my team members, and helping them to be the best versions of themselves that they can be.
Yeah, and I love your energy. When we talked earlier, just the energy that comes out, just like so contagious. You must have that,
great.
When you work with people.
I do. I love my people. I love my team, and I want all of them to have rich, successful lives and careers. And so I think that's what drives me.
Great.
Yeah.
And so one of the things I wanted to ask, so out of those 16 years of a career, what have you learned you can share with us today? I'm sure there's a tons.
Sure. And on this point of leading people, one of the things that I've learned is that being a leader and being a manager, so we talk a lot about management and what does management mean, especially for an entrepreneur. And I think that as a manager, you hold someone's future in your hands. And your job is to make that future as fantastic and glorious as it can be. And sometimes that involves going somewhere else, right? So the first time I became a manager, I had to fire the most popular guy in the office on the very first day.
That must be hard.
It was really hard. It was not easy. I didn't do a good job of it, but I learned a lot. And what I realized is that he was going to be more successful somewhere else. So, over the course of my career, even before I was an entrepreneur, I've learned over and over again that holding someone else's future in your hands is an honor and a tremendous responsibility. And so I really put a lot of my attention to that.
I like how you put it, because it's a sense of respect and honoring.
That's right.
Everybody's talent. It's not about, well, he's a good fit and not good at what he does. It's not negative conversation, but it's like totally responsible. Being totally responsible, the CEO of growth of the company, but it's responsible for individual, whether it's here or there.
Yep, absolutely.
Huge accountability as a leader.
And being wise enough to say, they're not working out here, they're not getting the job done here, but there's some place in the world that they're going to be great, and they're going to get what they need, and they're going to get whether it's the leadership or the motivation or the talent match that can happen somewhere else, that really transforms it into a very, very positive experience.
That's great. So as we hear your story, can you translate it and break down to 3 actionable items that listener can actually take to implement the lesson you just shared?
Absolutely. The first is, there's a book that I would say, go right now and read it. It's called First Break All the Rules. And the gentleman who wrote it, I know, isn't that a great title? And one of my Hito moments was when that book was recommended to me by one of my mentors, a gentleman named Jared Spool. I became the CEO of a company, of Adaptive Path, which was one of my great successes. And Jared, I asked him to be a mentor, and he shared this book with me. He's like, this changed how I look at management.
Great.
So first, break all the rules. Yeah, one book. The second is, I want you to list out the people whose future you hold in your hands. And I'll tell you, I started with interns, and I've had just tremendous, over the course of my career, like 8 or 10 interns, and all of them have gone on to do fantastic things. So whether it's someone who's working for you for free or volunteering to help your startup or what have you, think of the people who you're in a leadership position for, and just list them out explicitly. And then the third thing would be, list out what you think their strengths are. Because once you understand what someone is really strong in, then you can help maximize those strengths. And sometimes maximizing those strengths can happen within the context of your work together, and sometimes you can just be encouraging them to maximize those strengths somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know, and not all my interns turned out to be people who should continue working for me, but they all went on to really fabulous futures, and so that goodwill comes back to me all the time.
That's great, because we Women Startup Lab value so much about the people's interaction and supporting each other, and you know, you talked about very much of our philosophy and the Hito. So the 3-point is read a book.
Yep.
Break the rule first.
First break all the rules. First break all the rules. Yes.
Delete. And then
we're all just humans.
list the people's name that you hold their future that you could mentor and contribute. And then third one is list out your own strength.
Their strengths.
Their strength.
Understand their strengths so that then you can help to maximize their strengths as a leader.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your
It's
time.
my pleasure.
And any other things before we close?
I just want to thank you for all of the amazing work you're doing to support women entrepreneurs. I think it's wonderful. We need all the help we can get.
Yes, let's do it together. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Bye.